these female athletes are really more than soccer icons. I mean, they have transcended the sport. They're cultural icons. We have an incredible ownership group, from Natalie Portman to Eva Longoria, Sophia Bush, Lily Singh. Their voice and their platform is so much bigger than Angel City's today. Building something is incredibly difficult.
Hello, I'm Vanessa. As you can hear from my accent, I'm French. I've been a sports content creator for 6 years now. I have built a community of nearly 400,000 sports professionals and fans. Welcome to Champion du Digital, the podcast that puts the spotlight on the champions who work behind the scene to shape the sports of today and write the sports of tomorrow. In this podcast, you will find interviews with professionals who provide concrete answers to a trendy subject in the sports industry. Fan experience, social media, Web3 influence, entrepreneurship, sports jobs. Whether you are an entrepreneur, a professional or a student, this podcast is made for you. Good listening.
So, first, can you talk about the strategy and the idea to launch Angel City?
We were really inspired by the World Cup of 2019 and the idea to drive to real equity for women, pay equity for women athletes. So we built Angel City a different way, with mission at its core. We wanted to build an organization where mission and capital came together, where we not only had a positive impact in the community, but we also grew the sport and drove ultimately to true equity and pay equity for our athletes.
Last year, I talked with Karen Uhrman, and she told me about the butterfly effect for Angel City. What can you say about this?
Well, it's the concept that if you can see it, you can be it. When we started Angel City, there was nobody like us. There wasn't an ownership group that was majority female. There certainly weren't 3 female founders. There weren't teams that were built majority with women. And so we weren't discouraged by that and decided to build it a different way. We created the path of Angel City, and now we're trying to share that path so others can improve upon it and build upon it.
To build this project, you work with amazing people like Uhrman, Sophia Bush, Natalie Portman. What it is to work with them on this project?
We have an incredible ownership group, from Natalie Portman to Eva Longoria, Sophia Bush, Lily Singh. They come to matches, they promote what we're doing on their social channels, and they play a critical role in the impact in our community. Their voice and their platform is so much bigger than Angel City's today that when they tell our stories and amplify what it is what we're doing, it drives more attention and awareness, which drives more fans and ultimately drives brands and revenue for the club. And then we can put more impact into the community. They are supporting us because they believe in our mission of setting higher expectations and driving real value for women and women's sport. They're arm in arm with us, and I think we're succeeding entirely because of their commitment and dedication to help us.
On stage, you explained 3 reasons why women's football, women's sport is the biggest potential in the sports industry. Can you talk about these 3 reasons?
Look, we have the best players in the world playing women's football. We have more attention around the sport. These female athletes are really more than soccer icons. I mean, they have transcended the sport. They're cultural icons. Their followership is in the millions. So we can tap into their audience and use their audience to build attention awareness for their local clubs. And in addition to their national teams, it is an incredible platform with which to build a business and to build a brand. And so the potential for women's football and women's sport more broadly is there because people are now paying attention because it's so much easier to follow your favorite player and your favorite team. We don't have to rely on traditional media. And then you're having clubs like Angel City Football Club and the National Women's Soccer League, like the San Diego Wave and Kansas City Current, Washington Spirit, that are investing in their clubs that are driving real attention and awareness.
Also, you talk about the importance of storytelling, like to drive identification. Why is it important for you to talk about not like only sports, but also about the stories?
It's about creating an emotional connection with your audience and with your fans, and you do that through storytelling. I don't think anybody will doubt that women are just better storytellers than men. And when you find that connection with that athlete, it makes you want to follow their career and support their careers. So telling their stories, telling their why, following them on their journey is going to grow the sport and grow the audience.
About the specific model of the sponsorship, I know you choose your sponsors and you try to have an impact in the community. Can you talk about this?
Yeah, so with Angel City Football Club, we launched the Angel City sponsorship model where we give 10% of our sponsorship dollars back into the community. We do that through our impact platform of Equity Essentials in Education, which means when we partner with someone, our fans and our community understand that we are value aligned, that we want to set higher expectations and ultimately drive to equity, whether that's pay equity, gender equity, whether that's giving opportunity and access to youth, to creating more opportunities for female coaches and pathways so that they can be a professional doing something that they love. But we utilize our relationship with our partners and their dollars to make an impact in our community.
2 questions. What is the best advice you receive as an entrepreneur and you can share with me?
Well, the best advice is don't take no for an answer. No is a really easy answer to give. You have to find a path around the no. You have to figure out who is motivated to support you and get in front of them, because building something is incredibly difficult. You need the absolute best team to do it, and you have to be passionate and believe that what you're building needs to exist and find those around you that believe it the same way.
And the last question, how do you see the future of women's football with this FIFA Women's World Cup and after?
I mean, it's just exploding, and there are 1.2 million people that watched the 2019 World Cup. We're expecting over 2 billion people for this year. We've already sold over 1 million tickets for the World Cup this year, which is more than all of 2019. There are also 32 teams in the World Cup, the largest number of clubs in the World Cup this year. So you're seeing a growth in viewership, in attention, in player support, and I think it's going to be even bigger after this.
If you enjoyed this episode and learned something, you can help me spread the word. The best way is to subscribe, share the episode on social media by mentioning Champion du Digital. You have the link in the description, and give it 5 stars on Apple Podcasts and Spotify. Merci.